professional working relationship with him, and I was very, very fortunate to have a very close personal bond with him as well. Now there's so many people that he just spent a very short period perhaps with, and they feel so deeply connected with him. Even now, after he passed away, I've met so many people who have been connected with him, and I realize how much he affected, how much he touched their lives. He was a fine painter, he was a very, very fine musician, trained in Drupad, and later himself trained several other people. Some of his disciples are also here. He was an extraordinary chef. He cooked very well, he was extremely fond of food. Anything actually, he was like a walking encyclopedia. You could talk about anything with him. And his films, of course, evoked very sharp reactions. Some people find they are studied in film schools all over the world now. And the kind of experiments that he did in cinema, the kind of new ground that he broke in cinema. But some people found them very dry and boring also, including me in the beginning. I was one of the people who would, I was in the Film Institute where Mani also studied and later he taught. And I was, the Film Institute is always divided amongst people who love and hate his work. And I was somewhere in between. I neither loved his work nor hated it. But I found it a little slow for my kind of sensibilities. And I'll tell you how my association with him started by default. My diploma film had just been made, and I went to invite Professor Chhabria, who was our film appreciation teacher. And I went into Professor Chhabria's room to invite him, कि मेरी diploma film तैयार हो गई है, please come and see it. And Mani ji happened to be sitting there, Mani ji and Lalita ji, and out of sheer politeness, I invited them too. Okay. They happened to be sitting there because the film appreciation course was going on, and they were about to leave actually. So out of politeness, I just said, "Ke aap bhi aiye, sir." And he said, "Sure." He said, "मेरी गाड़ी थोड़ी delay करो, मैं इनकी diploma film देखूँगा." And I was a little scared because I had made a film with hero, heroine, villain, car chase, and song. And I said, "यार Mani Kaul ji अब देखेंगे तो वो क्या बोलेंगे?" And ironically, he came for the screening. None of the teachers landed up. It was just the first screening. And after that, he spoke to me for about 1 hour, about the film, and he pointed out such amazing things to me about cinema. And I said, "Wow, what a man!" And he loves this kind of film. So my first impression when I saw his films, I thought he'll be a dry and boring person, but he wasn't that. He was full of life and joy and humor. And for him, humor played a very big, important part in his life actually. He had a very wicked sense of humor. Somebody asked him in one film appreciation course, okay, how come you are so full of humor? When we talk to you, you make everybody laugh, but your films are so dry and boring. And Kundan Shah was sitting there, he's saying, "See this man, his film, Jani Vido Yaro, it's so full of laughter, but look at this man, he's so dry and boring." Kundan also, of course, had a great laugh. They have a student-teacher relationship. Kundan has been a student too. So Mani would take that liberty with Kundan. So that was the kind of humor that Mani had. And that was the kind of relationship I also shared with him. I would tell him 1 or 2 jokes, and he would tell me 1 or 2 Mani Kaul jokes. There were a lot of Mani Kaul jokes about his films. Famous Mani Kaul jokes, anecdotes. Many of which have recently been in the press. You must have read that one soon after he passed away. A lot of people wrote about the one where he was introducing, he had just become a paying guest, and his landlord was introducing him to his wife, saying that this is our new paying guest. He's a very bright young lad from the Film Institute, and he had just made uski roti. So he said, and he's made this wonderful film. It's about a man, it's about a woman waiting for her husband. And the wife said, "No, don't tell me more, I want to see the film." So Mani said, "But he's already told you the whole story." So that's the kind of humor that Mani had about his own films right from the beginning. And then so many other Mani Kaul jokes that I can share a few with you because he loved them. He would laugh the most at them. And even my other jokes that I always crack, even the most stupid ones, I don't know how he loved them. When we had a gathering, he would always call me, "Wo wala sunao," and very often he would even give the punchline before, just ye hota hai. But yeah, that is the kind of a man he was, full of jokes. the other famous joke that all of us film institute students here in when we joined the FTI, there was one auto wala called Abbas Bhai who was always outside the FTI. Abbas Bhai had been there from Ritvik Ghatak's time. Abbas Bhai was full of anecdotes about Ritvik Ghatak, about Mani, about Kumar, about everybody. And the famous thing we heard was that Mani came to him and said, "Aur Abbas Bhai, मेरी film चल रही है theatre में, come and आओ देखो." And he said, "अच्छा, हाँ मैंने पहला फ्रेम तो देख लिया, अब मैं स्टेशन तक एक सवारी छोड़ के आता हूँ, वही फ्रेम चल रहा होगा." So and this was something which Mani told me. And then I asked Abbas Bhai, and Abbas Bhai said, "हाँ ऐसा हुआ होगा शायद." So Mani was like that. He was full of humor. I was very fortunate to develop a very close personal bond with him. He came and stayed with me for a while. He came and stayed with my parents. I can see my dad has just come in. My mom is here. They would also, I'm sure, have something to share about Mani. He interacted a little with my grandmother. And after that, my grandmother only talked about him. "Oh, tera dost kithe hai? Oh, bahut acha aadmi hai." And then she would talk about various things that she used to discuss. I never knew what they would discuss in their little walk. So whoever he met for a brief period, he developed a very close personal bond with them.